It's Monday, August 9th, 2010, and this is the Morning Swim Show Streamlined, brought to you by SwimOutlet.com, the web's most popular swim shop. Yannick Agnel started off the European Championships today with a win over Paul Biederman in the 400 free. The winning time of 3:46.17 wasn't as fast as forecasters had predicted it would be, but the race itself was a great show for the crowd. Agnel, the upstart teenager from France, outsplit Biederman, the world record holder in this event, on the first 650s to get a 6/10 advantage. Biederman made a charge in the last 100 but missed out on the win by 0.13 of a second. The only other individual final today in Budapest was the women's 400 IM, and world champion Katika Hasu looked strong for the first 200 meters, obviously feeding off the home crowd. But then Hannah Miley of Great Britain took over the race after the breaststroke and never looked back. Miley's winning time of 4:33.09 is now the fastest time in the world, and it's a surprise considering that the British team is not fully rested in Hungary, focusing instead on the Commonwealth Games next fall. Hasu's time of 4:36.43 is about 2 seconds slower than she swam last month at the USA Swimming Grand Prix meet in Los Angeles. Only 2 men in the world had gone under the minute barrier in the men's 100 breast in 2010 before today, and now you can add Alexander Dale Oen to the list. The Olympic silver medalist from Norway posted a 59.29 in today's semifinals, which is just a few ticks slower than the time he swam to place second in Beijing and the fastest time in the world this year. Dale Oen was 1/100th of a second under Brenton Ricard's world record split at the 50. Therese Alsheimer is going to chase her world record in the 50 fly tomorrow. She posted a 25.57 in the semifinals today, only 0.5 off her mark. Sarah Sjostrom, the world record holder in the 100 fly, will race in the 50 fly tomorrow as well. Camille Lacourt of France is definitely one to watch in the lead up to the Olympics. The 25-year-old swam at 52.58 in the semifinals of the 100 back today to move himself into the top spot in the world rankings. Now, he and Liam Tancock are the only ones in the world to have swum under the 53-second mark. Tancock will not be swimming in the 100 back final tomorrow after posting the 9th fastest time in semis. Elizabeth Simmons and Gemma Spofford will be Great Britain's backstroke representation in tomorrow's 200 back final, but it will be Spain's Dwayne de Rocha who will have lane 4 in the final. De Rocha swam at 2:10.56 in today's semifinals. About a week after FINA gave Rafael Munoz a slap on the wrist for not informing the proper drug testing authorities on his whereabouts during a vacation last winter, the world record holder in the 50 fly is going into the final of his pet event as the top seed with a 23.15. Fred Bousquet is the second qualifier with a 23.30. Because Bousquet didn't finish in the top 4 in the 100 free at the French Nationals, he was not picked to swim the 400 free relay final today, which was a great battle between the French and the Russians. Evgeny Lagunov took the lead with a 48.23 ahead of Fabien Gelot's 48.47. France and Russia were tied at 2:24.59 going into the final leg. Alain Bernard and Daniil Izotov went head-to-head in the anchor leg, with the Russians splitting a 47.8 to Bernard's 48.7. The Russians took the gold medal with a 3:12.46. We've got a recap of all the events in Budapest on SwimmingWorld.com, including results of the synchronized swimming and open water competitions. South Africa held its short course nationals last weekend in Pietermaritzburg, and 16 Springboks are on the roster for this winter's short course world championships. Short course world record holders Cameron Vandenberg and Roland Schoeman lead a squad full of veterans and newcomers gearing up for their first major international competition. But Natalie du Toit was the biggest story of the meet, setting 8 Paralympic world records in 4 days. We've got recaps from each day of competition on SwimmingWorld.com. Back here in the States, the USA team for the Pan Pacific Swimming Championships is sequestered in Irvine for a 9-day training camp. One of the names very few expected to see on the roster was Amanda Beard, who finished second in the women's 200 breast on Sunday night. Beard shocked everyone in attendance by saying after the race she might have to turn down the invite to swim at Pan Pacs because she didn't want to stay away from her newborn son Blaze. But after some emotional conversations with her husband Sasha Brown and national team head coach Mark Schubert, Beard decided to accept the invitation to swim at Pan Pacs and potentially race the woman she beat for the 2004 Olympic gold medal, Liesl Jones. One name not on the list on the Pan Pac team is Josh Schneider, who broke his hand on the finish during the prelims of the 100 freestyle and therefore made all discussions regarding his 50 free null and void. Had Schneider not broken his hand, he might have not waived the result of the 50 free final and continued to fight for a place on the Pan Pac team. Just to remind you, Schneider swam the 50 under protest after he was not allowed to swim the event because he didn't show up for the 100 fly. Then he tied for second in the final and went through 4 appeals to let the place stand and put him on the Pan Pac team. But Schneider is still fighting to let his 21:97 count as a legal time, which is very important because that time could be used to determine if he can be selected for any international trips in 2011, including the World Championships. We'll let you know on SwimmingWorld.com how Schneider's newest appeal goes. And if you missed any of our coverage of the USA Swimming Nationals, we've got a lot of content on SwimmingWorld.tv to keep you busy. Peter Bick has dozens of great photos of your favorite swimmers. Jason Marcello was on duty breaking all the big news from the meet, and Garrett McCaffrey got video interviews with pretty much all the big names in swimming. Also in Irvine this week is the USA Junior Nationals, and this will be our chance to see Vlad Morozov, Swimming World Magazine's Male High School Swimmer of the Year, in action. Morozov, the national high school record holder in the 50 and 100 freestyles, will swim those events this week as well as the 100 back. And that's the news for today. We'll see you next time on SwimmingWorld.tv.